All right, good morning. As you can see, my mic is back. So hopefully it works. The topic that I wanted to talk about today though, and so I'm going to start doing this for those of you who weren't here last week. Basically, every single month we have a different theme, and maybe I'll post the themes in the Discord so you guys know what to expect. So like January is fresh starts and goal setting. So we talked about how to set goals that you'll actually stick to last week. This week is the power of a morning routine. Next week is going to be overcoming the fear of starting. It's like just getting going. The February theme is self-love and confidence. March is productivity and focus. So each month is going to have a different theme, and then each Mindset Monday itself is going to have a different topic. I've been posting the recaps of like this part of chat to YouTube in case you miss it. And then I also have posted like chat usually gives a lot of their tips and opinions and things, and I've compiled that. I just posted it. It was a little bit late, but I just posted that up in the Discord this morning from last week. So this morning, it's Power of the Morning Routine. And so some of it, I have a bunch of questions that I figured I kind of ask you guys, but then some of them are stuff that I figured it's kind of just like informational things that I'll just throw at you guys, and you can let me know what you think about it. So the first question that I wanted to like check in with everybody was just to see what is the first thing that you do when you wake up? Like, is it your alarm goes off on your phone and then you sit and you scroll on your phone for a little bit? Do you get up and make coffee? Like, does anybody have their set thing that they typically do as the very first thing you do when you wake up? If you do something really bad and want to stop doing it, it's either go back to sleep or look at YouTube shorts. Okay? You check Reddit's your updates and best of Redditor update stories usually in the morning. You used to scroll social media first thing. Now you read your book on your phone. Okay. You lay and play with your puppers and then cuddle with my kitties. I love that one. I've been having that bad mental week, and every part of me is like, do I need a puppy? I need a puppy. I'm like, this is not a good enough reason to get a puppy, but emotional support animals. Brody, you put your bed away, you sleep on a futon. So every morning I need to fold my blankets and fold my bed away. I'm trying to start by journaling first thing before I get up. It's been hard because I wake up mega hungry most of the time. So I want to get up ASAP. That's fair. I mean, that's kind of nice that helps motivate you to get up. I like those. And so the follow-up to that question, so it's kind of, what is it that you do first thing? Like, what is that? Panic that I'm going to be late for work. Because it's usually my reminder alarm to sit down at the computer. Slept, snooze through the previous alarms. I feel that feeling. So that's part of it. I wanted to see what you currently do when you first wake up. And if you're just lurking and you want to just mentally ask yourself these questions, that's totally fine too. Like, don't feel like you have to share in chat. What I find too is as we get better at doing these discussions, at least for me, putting things into writing helps me implement things. So whether you are just putting it down in chat, or even while we do these Mindset Mondays, if you want to take notes somewhere on your phone or your computer, if that's something that's going to be helpful for you, the idea between doing these Mindset Mondays is to just give you guys a little bit of resources to help live your best life, whatever that looks like. You never did my bed before getting a futon. It's been great in helping me set a routine. Interesting. So the futon helps. Do you put it into like a couch mode kind of thing? Real, my kitty is great for emotional support. She's a big fan of snoozing bed laps. The doggo, not so much. He'd rather run and play. Cats, I'm definitely more of a dog person than a cat, but I would love a cat just to like, when I get anxious, to just lay there and have it purr on my chest. Yeah, that sounds so nice. Akari, you Discord, maybe TikTok, go up, bathroom, brush teethies, shower, pack breakfast, lunch, and work shirt, then off to work. Okay. So it seems like the general theme is we got a lot of getting on the phone. Some is panic. Some is playing with animals, which I love that one. I feel like animals, we don't deserve animals. They make our lives so much better. But then my next question to follow up that would be, if you could add one habit to your morning routine, what would it be? So maybe that's the first thing that you do right now. If you could change that, or if you had a different thing that you wish that you were going to be doing a little bit differently, in an ideal world, what would that first thing be, or what would that look like? Eclipse, for real, you get up, do bathroom stuff real quick, do morning stuff for Bunny, let her out, food, water, treats. Wait, you have a bunny? Get caffeine. Yeah, change into clothes and sit down for work. Okay, okay. A car you'd rather sleep instead. Okay, I'm talking about awake habits. You want to get out of bed and don't get back into it. It's fair. It's fair. Anybody else got any? Quite happy with that on a work week. Weekend, I would like to maybe not stay as long in bed. Okay. Anxiety, you're just here lurking. Got you on the big screen. Looking fantastic as always. Thank you, love. Appreciate it. Ranger, good morning. Welcome. Bro, you're so sick of sleeping right now, though. I want the energy to go do stuff. Being sick is no fun. Even now that I'm feeling better, I'm still lethargic. Yeah. Sometimes that's what your body needs, though, right? Like, it sounds like your holidays are really busy and you need to let yourself rest. Right? I'd like to be more patient with myself, be able to set up a regular routine rather than just lay there for a while. You currently wake up between 7 and 8. Goal is to wake up around 6:30, do 15 minutes of journaling, motivate me with my day. You force myself to put the phone on the bookshelf before bed because then I would scroll first thing in the morning too. Brought myself a digital alarm clock so I don't depend on my phone to wake me up now. Extreme measures. Look really put together, but I've been through hell and back before getting here. Brodo, I love that. I love that. I mean, not that you've been through hell, obviously, but that you are recognizing the things that don't work and the things that do and taking measures in order to, and a lot of the things that you're saying already, I do have as like tips or things that we'll talk about with this. Yeah, eclipse. I need to see this bunny. Okay, so those are kind of the first things that I wanted to check in with. The only last question that I wanted to see too was, do you guys think that having a morning routine can change your mindset for the day? Or are we like, nah, it doesn't really matter either way? Brodo, you have an app that blocks me on my phone if I've been there for too long. I know I have a problem and I'm trying my best to fix it. Hey, extreme measures, you know? Eclipse, as not a morning person, yes, I definitely believe it does. You're like, that's not for me, but also I do think it can. Ryo, I think it sets the mood and the motions for the day. Fizzy, unless the routine is terrible, where everything goes wrong and I'm late, feels like it doesn't matter. Okay. Hi, baby toast. Good to see you. Akari, yeah, you do think it helps. Okay. So the biggest thing that I wanted to start with is because I know when I say morning routine, kind of like you said, Eclipse, as not a morning person, right? There is this idea that in order to be a morning person, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and do all these things, right? And have the perfect set schedule of what that looks like. And the first thing that I wanted to bring up is the fact that not everyone is a morning person. Like you have the early birds versus night owls. And so they actually have what is called your chronotype. And that's the natural inclination of your body to sleep at a certain time. And there are some people where it's really easy, like you get tired at a certain time at night and you go to sleep and you wake up early and that feels easy. I don't know if anybody feels like for me, you know those sleep cycles where like say you'll get really tired at 9 or 10 o'clock and if you stay up past then, you'll be wide awake again until like maybe 2 a.m., right? And a lot of that is based on your sleep schedules. And some of this, like your chronotype, is determined by genetics. Some of it is, I was reading that a lot of it is from, back in caveman days, for example. There's the theory that human beings had to take turns sleeping. Like there would always be somebody awake and available to keep watch of your tribe and everything. So there are some people that are better at being early risers and there are some people that are better at staying up all night. And so I think the first point to make is that you have to kind of pay attention to what your chronotype or your sleep schedule looks like for you, because that's not going to be the same thing for everyone. Right? You're a night owl. Yeah. What do we have? Is anybody here? You can say whether you're a night owl or a morning bird, but also, do you think maybe you are one or the other and it's just affected based off of like what your schedule is or your circumstance? Because I do think for me, I am 100% a morning bird or an early bird, whatever it's called. I function like I notice my depression skyrockets the longer that I sleep in and the more that I'm not getting up early and doing things. Sometimes if I'm doing certain things that mean that I should stay up later for, I will start to get into that habit. But I've noticed that my body doesn't work as well when I do that, if that makes sense. Right, you're a night owl. Ranger, body aches from physical activity has me sleeping in. 5 a.m. would be the goal though. Okay. And being a night person kind of sucks when the whole world runs on morning people hours. That was the other point that I was going to make, is that I do think the struggle too is that people that are naturally inclined to be a night owl definitely struggle more with the 9 to 5 working mentality. Kara, you're a night owl. Cookie, you're a night raven, I should say. You're a night owl. Only time I get a sleep schedule without problems is when you have things to do during the day. You got sleep after breakfast, get up before dinner. Night owl. I should have known that if I asked this question on Twitch, all of my gamer people were going to be night owls. You can stay up till sunrise without a problem. I just make myself go to sleep because of work, sunlight, good, etc. You're predominantly night, but my circadian rhythm spins around the clock depending on what I'm doing work-wise. Okay. People recommend you go for a walk or getting some sun. And you think that's bullshit, but it actually makes depression better. No, it's 100%. Getting even 10 minutes of sunshine, even if the sun is behind clouds, and it only counts actually being outside. Like getting sun through a window is not the same effect as getting actual sunshine. And the studies have shown that that is so much better on your mental health. Good morning. Oh, you're a morning person? Midnight, you're a morning person? Aiden, night owl. You envy people who say if you follow a schedule long enough, your body adapts to it. It doesn't. I do think that there's some of it that is affected by your circumstance, right? Like depending on if you do get into a certain habit of waking up early, you can shift your sleep schedule a little bit. But there are also people that because of your chronotype, you tend to be a night owl, and that it just is a lot more of a struggle to have a specific routine in that way. Broda, you're 100% an early bird, but as long as you don't talk to me for the first 2 hours of me being awake, I'm a morning person. I'm still not a people person. That's fair. You're like, I feel good in the morning. Just don't put me around people. Honestly, kind of same. If I am left to my own devices in the morning, I am so happy. If somebody talks to me, I'm like, no. This is my special time to be by myself. I would say that if I'm out camping, it's like the opposite land. I feel like going to sleep early and waking up to watch the sunrise. See, and eclipse, that's what I find really interesting though. I think a lot of people will say that they're a night owl, but I also think that that's kind of like a product of our society. Like because of you have work, and so the only free time that you can do is in the evening. The evening feels like a safe period of time. And so because you stay up really late in the evening, then you sleep, then you want to sleep in, you don't feel like you're a morning person. And so when we are out in nature, or if you are like the way that I've realized I'm like, you know, that scene in Frozen where Anna's like, the sun's awake, so I'm awake. Like if I am, that's why I really struggle, I think mentally in the winter too, is because it's dark most of the time. I will wake up and go to sleep with the sun. And like that is how I feel like my body's natural rhythm works. Rao, you're mostly a night owl. I can be whichever I want. I just prefer the dark. And that's fair. I think for a lot of people, the night is safer in a lot of ways too. Like many of us grew up, either we have a lot of responsibilities that we have, or grew up in a place where the nighttime was kind of your time. Yeah, it's the safe, peaceful quietness when everybody else is asleep, right? Okay, so those are kind of like the starting questions that I kind of wanted to talk about. I think more of the content of, so there's the chronotype of whether people naturally, whether you go to sleep or wake up earlier and whether that works for you. With that being said, regardless of what time you wake up, the ability to have a morning routine does strongly impact the rest of your day, because it's this idea that if you have time to focus on things for yourself before, just even imagine the difference between if you had time to wake up slowly and like say you sipped a cup of coffee and got a good meal and did some stretches, imagine how you would feel versus your alarm going off late, trying to shut that off really quickly and then quickly running out the door to work without getting food. You were just going to feel better when you were able to take care of yourself more first thing in the morning than if you get just thrown into your day. They've seen that having a morning routine helps with enhancing empathy, creativity, patience. It sets the stage for a more positive day. You get more clarity and focus. It helps boost confidence. You can feel more calm. Trying to fit in whatever you can in the morning or waking up just a little bit early to give yourself that time to have a better morning routine actually goes a long way with setting up the rest of your mental health. And that's part of the reason that I'm starting stream a little bit later now, is because I noticed that my mental health did a lot better when I have more time in the morning to do all the things that I need to do. Like I've been feeling, I mean, granted, it's been a rough mental health month, but I've still been able to make time for working out and eating well and getting outside. And I haven't been before I was like giving myself time to do that. So I wrote down some tips of like my top tips for kind of being a morning person, or things that can help in the morning. And then you guys can let me know whether there's things that you already do, whether there's things you might want to add, and whether or not you want to take part of it or not is completely up to you. But my goal is to always just give you guys information on what has been really helpful for me and what studies have shown and stuff, and feel free to take it or leave it. But my number one tip, and the thing that has helped me the most, is avoiding my phone first thing in the morning. Because there's a couple of reasons for this, but a lot of it is, I read this book, I think it was Carol Dweck's, something on mindset. I've read so many books at this point about mindset stuff that I get confused where I've read what. But there's a difference between what is called your proactive and your reactive mindset. So proactive is, you're waking up and you're creative and you have a lot of your own ideas and you're doing all these different things, right? Reactive is like you see a news source and your emotions and your thoughts and stuff are reacting to whatever you're hearing or reading about or whatever. What helps with setting up your day for success is getting your mindset or getting your brain wired into a state where you are creating your own thoughts and mentality, right? You're not reacting based on, like, imagine the energy shift between if you get on Twitter and you see a bunch of negative comments right off the bat of just people being the negative people that they can be on social media, right? Like imagine that being the first thing that you get into your brain versus say you get up and you get a cup of coffee and you're looking out and you see like deer outside your window or something. Just imagine how that would affect your mental health differently. So my first tip is that avoiding your phone first thing in the morning so that you can get your brain more in a proactive mindset. And then from there, finding something that feels good to set your day off to like being successful and getting things done. So my number one tip, and I know that they talked about this on like the Huberman Lab or something, one of the podcasts, making your bed first thing in the day helps set your brain up for getting more tasks done. So waking up, avoiding the phone, making your bed, and then doing something that's like a self-care, taking care of yourself routine. So whether that's like a skincare routine, whether it's like getting a cup of tea or just doing something that's for you. My skincare routine is I wake up and I splash water on my face just to wake myself up. And then there's 3 key pillars of what like a successful morning routine looks like that is good for your body. And that includes nutrition, mindfulness practice, and physical movement. The one that I struggle with a lot is the mindfulness part. And so I'm wanting to add either a breathing practice or like 5 minutes of meditation or something. Like I just want to add something that's a little bit more mindful. It could be just like grabbing your cup of tea and like sitting with a couple minutes for yourself to just breathe and sip your tea or coffee. That could be a mindfulness practice. Maybe I know Brodo was saying that you like to do journaling in the morning. That's a great way of doing a mindful thing. A couple other examples of things that you could do are maybe jotting down some gratitudes, like things that you're grateful for, which speaking of, that's something that we do in the Discord. So if you haven't written your gratitudes for today, there is that gratitude channel. So, or writing affirmations. So things that are like, I am strong, I'm confident, whatever affirmations you feel like you need to hear for the day. It's a good mindful practice. Nutrition can be whatever works best for you and your body. So that's going to look different for everyone. For me, If I eat before I work out, I feel horrible. Like I just feel sluggish. I don't want to work out. It makes me nauseous. So for me, I wake up, I do all of my morning movement first. So I do 30 to 45 minutes of strength Pilates, and I go for a walk, or I do jump rope, or do some type of cardio, and then I do breakfast afterwards. And that's what works for me. Maybe you get up and you get nutrition first thing. Like you eat a banana or you get some sort of snack. You get the food, nutrition, then you do your physical movement. Like you have to figure out what works for you. But so those are the three pillars. So nutrition, mindfulness, and getting physical movement. And then the other thing that gets left out that I'm really bad at, but hydration is really, really important. I think it's typically 16 ounces of lukewarm water with a little bit of lemon in it is the ideal thing to start your morning to help like jumpstart your system. So making sure you get hydration, because that helps get your body flushing out any of the old stuff, and out with the old and with the new, you know? You look at the phone just to check if I have messages from friends for the most part. But, well, so Akari, I actually have started to check that later, because what I've noticed is every once in a while, like there will be messages from friends about their day and it's like they're having a hard day, or maybe it's not always positive things. And so for me, I want to make sure I always start my morning off and I get my brain set in the right place. Like it's still the idea of you are starting your day out reacting to something. You're reacting to somebody else's message rather than giving yourself time to set up your own thoughts. So it can be better to get up to do your thing and then check your messages, you know, like on the way to work or a little bit later. But keep your morning for yourself, or at least something to try. Tis pro-reactionation. Exactly. Monophasic is typical sleep once per day. Polyphasic is sleeping intentionally multiple times per day, but for less overall duration. Apparently, if done correctly, if you were rested within an hour, with overall lower numbers of hours sleep versus mono. Honestly, I think Eclipse, kind of like in the same thing that there are different chronotypes, I think that's kind of one of those things that it just depends on your body, right? I think some people react really well to getting shorter amounts of sleep, napping more times throughout the day, and whatever just feels best to you. Like if you feel more rested sleeping a certain way, then do what works for you. For me, if I go to bed earlier and wake up earlier, I feel so much better. If I sleep too many hours, like I find if I sleep like 10 hours in the day and I wake up at like 10 a.m., I am miserable. Like I am so sluggish. It just makes it so hard to want to do anything. And so yeah, you just gotta have to figure out what works for you. But doing a morning routine in a way that you get those things started right off the bat helps set up the rest of your day for a lot more success. But yeah, I think that's most of the content that I have for you guys, is this idea that there are different people, whether you are an early bird versus a night owl, you have to figure out what works best for you. Regardless of what time you're waking up, trying to set your day up for success really helps the rest of your brain with clarity, focus, confidence, calm, all those things. Trying to avoid your phone, avoid doing things that you are reacting to first thing in the morning. So setting yourself up to being proactive about your own thoughts, whether that's journaling, writing affirmations, gratitude, anything that's going to be mindfulness. And then another thing, I did forget to add trying to get outside. So we talked about having like 10 minutes of sunlight a day is really helpful. So if you can get outside, go for a walk, get some movement, do nutrition that works for your body, try to hydrate. Those are some things that can really help your day up for success. So thank you for everybody who gave me your thoughts as well. I think my favorite part about doing these Mindset Monday things on stream is it just gets to show us that you're not alone. We all struggle with similar things, and we can all work on doing better on similar things together. So I appreciate everyone who participates and chats with me on Mindset Monday. So big thank you. And then at the end, be like, thank you for watching.